Whenever the laws of any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. The function of law enforcement agencies is not limited to the apprehension and conviction of criminals. An equally and often more important function is the protection of life and property in any emergency. In this case, the emergency began with an incident apparently so slight that it passed almost unnoticed at the time.
You're all filled up, man.
Kathy, what happened?
He bit me. He was kissing me, and then he bit me.
Oh, honey.
Is she hurt?
No, it's just a scratch, but I'll have to put a bandage on it.
All right, you get out.
Don't
Go on.
spank him, mister. He didn't mean to bite me.
Are you sure?
I guess maybe I hugged him too hard.
Well, if you say so. Okay, Buster, you're forgiven this time. But you'll mind your manners in the future, you hear?
Is Buster his real name?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, I don't know. He just wandered in here yesterday and sort of adopted me.
This isn't going to hurt a bit. See? Didn't hurt. Now, you hold this.
If I had him, I'd call him Buster. Isn't he cute, Mommy?
Yeah, he is a cute dog. I'll have to admit it. Now. There. Good as new. Well, we better be on our way.
Well, here's your receipt, man.
Oh,
Thanks
thank you.
very much.
It was 4 days later that the incident came to official attention. During those 4 days, the puppy had shown signs of a progressing sickness. When a veterinarian finally was consulted, the symptoms were obvious. Diagnosis, rabies. The service station attendant remembered that the little girl had been bitten. He notified health authorities. His report was immediately sent on to the highway patrol. The incident had grown to an emergency.
What about the rabies case?
It just came in. Tully's on his way out to talk to the filling station operator now.
Let me know if you get anything. Cancel a stolen car on Rogers Drive. His wife had it. What about the hit and run?
It was a red pickup truck, and the last 3 numbers of the license are 477. We should have the list within an hour.
Call Tully back in. Tell him to follow through on the hit and run.
But what about the rabies case?
That's my baby. Right now, a young girl is faced with dying the hard way. That gets top priority. Call Doc Ellie to the health department. Get him over here right away. I'm ready, Doc. How much time we got?
If that gas station man is right, we have only 24 hours.
Come on, let's go. You said Lathrop?
Yeah. I guess you hear about the dog, huh? And the little girl?
That's right.
Boy, when the vet told me this morning that poor pup had rabies, real bad. Well, then I remembered he bit the little girl, and I thought I'd better call.
How long ago?
It was 4 days. About the same time. He bit her on the cheek, about here like.
You're sure the skin was broken?
Yeah, but it didn't bleed much. Well, the woman dabbed something on the cut and put a piece of tape over it.
Oh, fine. That wound should have been opened up by a doctor and then cauterized. And it should have been reported.
Reported?
All animal bites are supposed to be reported.
If I'd only had sense enough to call when I first saw the dog was sick.
Now, look, don't blame yourself. It's good you acted as you did rather than not at all. This little gal and her mother, do you think they might live around here?
No, sir.
What kind of a car was it?
It was a station wagon. No idea what make. It was blue, I think. I'm not sure.
While she was here, did she mention where she was from or where she might be going?
No, sir.
I see you on her credit cards. Do you think she might have used one?
Yeah. Yeah, come to think of it, I believe she did.
Dan, we've got to find that child today. The virus travels up the nerves to the brain. If it only has to go from here to here, we've got to start Pasteur vaccine within 5 days.
Lucky I still haven't to be picked up tomorrow. This is it. I'm positive. I remember now. They were from Kansas.
Thanks very much. 2150 to headquarters.
Go ahead, 2150.
I want a tracer on Mrs. Alice Marshall, 426 Rumley. That's Rumley Road in Belleville, Kansas. She's traveling. Has a little girl with her who's been exposed to rabies, so I want the works. Friends, relatives, likely vacation spots. They're driving a blue station wagon. License number 2U34779. Get out an APB on that and also get it to commercial radio right away. We're coming in. 10-4?
10-4.
Let's go, Doc. It's a start.
Geez, I sure hope you find her. But she could be any place by now.
You said a mouthful.
There. I guess that's everything. You know, I've enjoyed these last 4 days so much, I sort of hate to leave.
Me too.
But if we're going to be like real gypsies, we can't stay put.
Mommy, do we have to stop at Cypress Inn today?
Well, we told Grandma that's probably where we'd be tonight.
But it doesn't even have a swimming pool.
Well, it's nice and restful, though.
What can you do with rest? We're on a vacation.
Oh, Kathy, you pulled that tape loose again. Here, let me fix it.
I don't think I need it anymore, Mommy. There's just a little mark there now.
Well, it looks fine. It's almost healed. Okay.
We finally located Mrs. Marshall's business partner. Runs a dress shop in Belleville. She says Mrs. Marshall is on vacation with her daughter, just rambling around, no definite destination.
What about her father?
Mrs. Marshall's a widow, only relative grandmother, a Mrs. Rowell, lives in Cronin.
Probably our best bet. I'm sure they were going to visit her on the trip.
We've got a call in for her.
All right, stay with it. Doc, what symptoms do we look for in rabies?
We don't even look, Dan. Once the symptoms have developed, death is inevitable. That's the way it is with hydrophobia.
I didn't know they still call rabies hydrophobia.
Fear of water. It's a good description. Even with a raging thirst, victims can't drink. One sip and the throat closes up like a vice. Jaws clench, convulsions. Breathing becomes impossible and pain excruciating.
Oh, brother.
And after that, it goes on.
Matthews. Oh, put her on. Mrs. Rowell? Mrs. Rowell, we're trying to find your granddaughter. No, take it easy. It's nothing like that. We think she's been exposed to rabies. Have you got any idea where she might be? Where? Harrington Motel. They were there yesterday, leaving today. Check it. Were they going to visit you? When? Next week? No, Mrs. Rowell. Please, just stay home by the phone. We'll take care of it. We'll find her. I hope.
Checked out an hour ago.
We'll try the Cypress Inn. They're going there today. Come on.
Why are we stopping here, Mommy?
Kathy, did you see that sign back there?
What sign?
Come on. Let's go see if it really said what I thought it did.
News. A widespread search is underway today for a little girl who was bitten by a rabid dog 4 days ago.
How would you like to see a place I stayed once many years ago with your father?
Swell. Does it have a swimming pool?
Something even better. A real lake. And horses and boats and lots of fish and a view besides. And I'd love to see it again.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
road she could take.
I agree.
Highway 17's out of the question. She had to double back half the distance. This has got to be the one.
How far you figure to Cypress Inn now?
We're almost there.
The visit to the Cypress Inn was an acute disappointment. Mrs. Marshall and Kathy had not stopped there. A negative end to the last clue to finding the critically ill little girl.
So let's figure it out. Take her driving time from when she left this morning to now. That ought to put her right in this area, give or take a couple of miles.
Then we should have passed him somewhere along the line.
Yeah, that's what keeps bugging me.
Penny for your thoughts.
I was just wishing
Wishing what?
for a puppy, a real cute one, just like Buster.
Who in the world is Buster?
Oh, Mother, the puppy at that filling station. The one that accidentally bit me. Do you think when we get back home I could have one?
I don't know about that. We'll see.
I sure hope I can. I sure loved him. He was so cute.
Feel like traveling?
Yep.
Okay, come on.
2150 to 2110. Continue north on 44 to Cooper Point. Then turn around and search the highway all the way back to the Harrington Motel. And remember, they're sightseeing. May have stopped off someplace. Check all scenic spots and points of interest. 10-4?
10-4.
2150 to 2014. Pick up some time. We haven't located Mrs. Marshall or her daughter on this side yet. Keep your eyes peeled. Search north on 17 to 44. Then south to Cypress Inn. I'm leaving here now. When you get here, stand by. 10-4?
10-4.
I wonder which way we're supposed to go. No signs.
Maybe we can ask over there.
Oh, good idea, Kathy.
So much for the national news. Now turning to the local scene. The fire at Chase's lumberyard was brought under control this morning. Damages are expected to exceed over $100,000.
Oh, hello
There were no
there. I
injuries.
didn't hear you come up. The radio
Highway
makes
Patrol
so much
reports that in the
noise.
search for Mrs.
There, that's better. Well, how are you, young lady?
Fine, thank you.
Now, what can I do for you?
We were wondering about Frenchman's Camp. Do you know the place?
Oh, about 25 miles from here up that road to the left.
I was up there once with my husband before he died. It was our last vacation together.
This is our first vacation together.
You don't say. Are you having fun?
You bet.
How about the accommodations up there now?
Pretty rough, mostly for the fishermen, but clean.
I'm hungry, Mommy.
As a matter of fact, so am I. Could we get some lunch here?
Well, I haven't got much left, what with these children and their picnic.
A picnic? Oh, that's a good idea. Kathy, what do you say we buy a lunch and have a picnic along the road?
That's a good idea, Mommy.
Could you fix us up with anything?
I think I can find enough for you two.
Nothing, huh?
Not a sign of them.
Well, it's pretty obvious they've changed their minds.
It's a woman's prerogative. I wish she hadn't picked this time to do it.
Well, we sure covered every inch of it.
We'll cover every inch again, every inch of the side roads. Now, look, here's what's going to happen. Doc and I will take this highway. You take this one. I'll call Blake. Tell him to cover that cow trail in back of the inn. Tyler will cover the highway. Oh, another thing. You got a couple of kids, haven't you?
Yeah, a boy and a girl.
We're looking for a kid. Now, you got experience. What do we look for?
Well, if she's anything like my kid, she's probably hollering her head off for food about now.
All right, on your route, cover all the eating joints. High-class places to one-arm joints. We'll do the same.
Right.
What'll we do, flip a coin?
We know the Frenchman's camp's up that way, whatever that is. In back of us, nothing but ranches and open country. And we're not doing any good just sitting here.
Hey, that looks like a store over there. Any use checking it?
Yeah, I always obey my own orders.
Oh, I'm sorry, boys. I haven't got a thing left. Only a couple of candy bars.
We don't want anything. We're looking for a little girl and her mother. They were driving a station wagon. It was blue. Did you happen to see him?
Oh, with all those kids and their mothers here on that picnic, I could... Say, I do remember her. She bought the fixins for a picnic they was going to eat on the road.
How long ago?
About an hour ago.
Which road did they take?
Well, I couldn't say. I didn't notice. But that woman asked me a lot of questions about Frenchman's Camp. Now, whether she was going to drive all the way up there or was just interested, I couldn't tell.
How far is it?
About 25 miles.
Let me have a couple of those candy bars, will you?
Sure. Here you are.
Thanks. Let's go to Frenchman's Camp.
Say, if you're planning to run a race up that road, I'd forget it.
No, I don't think you would, lady. Not this race, anyway. Thanks.
I remember this spot. There's a little stream in there behind those trees. Oh, this is perfect, Kathy. Hey, aren't you interested?
Yes, I just feel sort of tired, Mommy.
Ah, no wonder. Cooped up in the car all day. Don't do that, honey.
It itches.
All cuts itch when they're healing up. I think a nice lunch and a run in the woods is what you need, young lady. Oh, this is going to be perfect. Come on, you can help me.
Matthews, Highway Patrol. You the proprietor?
I'm Mr. Frenchman, yes, sir.
We're looking for a little gal and her mother. They're driving a blue station wagon. Have they been around here today?
No, nobody's come today.
But they should have arrived here within the last hour.
I'm sorry, sir. I've been here all day. Nobody showed up. Anything wrong?
No, nothing's wrong.
She couldn't have changed her mind again. Doesn't make sense.
I hope this lady doesn't take to a life of crime. If they show up, call the Highway Patrol right away, will you?
Yes, sir, I will.
Thanks.
What are you going to do?
Go back to that stand, start all over again. Wait a minute. They were fixing to go on a picnic. Hey, mister! That little gal, the mother, they were going on a picnic. Any good spots around here?
Well, there's no particular place, sir. This is pretty wild country.
All right, thanks anyway. Mrs. Marshall?
Yes, I'm Mrs. Marshall, but...
I'm Matthews of the Highway Patrol. This is Dr. Elliott from the Health Department. You know, I think this is the girl we've been so anxious to meet. Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
This is Dr. Elliott.
How are you, Kathy?
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Yes, of course.
You know something? We've been trying to find you all day.
Why?
Remember that little puppy at the filling station?
Buster, he was cute.
I know, but he carried a disease, Kathy. A very bad one, called rabies. When he bit you, he passed some of that sickness on to you.
But I feel fine.
Well, it's sort of like seeds. Takes time to grow. But I have some medicine here that'll keep it from ever growing. Open up your sweater.
Rabies, I just can't believe it. Kathy with rabies, I'll just never forgive myself for not reporting it. It seemed so trivial. This was our first vacation, and, well, I just didn't want to take the time.
People not taking the time is the story of my life. When the doctor's finished, I'll have a patrolman pick up your car. Oh, look. Don't spring the 3-week treatment on her, or the death of the puppy, or the loss of the vacation for a while yet.
No. Anyway, now there'll be other years for other vacations, thanks to you and Dr. Elliott.
Kathy's going to be just fine.
Sure she is. Come on, Kathy, we'll take a ride in a real highway patrol car. Hey, what are those tears all about now?
I'm sorry.
Got something for you. Here.
Thank you.
Don't let that get around. Some people might consider it bribery. Next week's Highway Patrol story is a very unusual one. I hope you'll be with us. Until then, remember, it isn't the car that kills, it's the driver. This is Bradley Crawford saying, see you next week.